The last legal person that I want to talk about is an estate. We see this a lot in Arlington and DC because we have some really, really old properties in this area, and you could easily have someone who's owned a property for 70 years and they're just now selling the property, and perhaps that property is being sold as an estate. This is big. So if someone has passed away, as I mentioned earlier, a person has to own the property. And if the person owned the property and then that person has passed away, nobody is available to legally act as the person who owns that property until the court has appointed a personal representative. So again, the LLC is a legal person and the managing member acts on that person's behalf. The trust is a legal person and the trustee acts on that person's behalf. The estate steps in to be the legal person. The other owner has passed away. The legal person is now the estate, and the personal representative acts on behalf of that legal person, the estate. So here's the thing, if someone passes away and they've got two kids, and we all know, we can look at the will, we all know that that person passed away and left everything to their two kids. The two kids are to split the estate equally. Those two kids can't just say, okay, let's go sell the house, we'll sign, we're the heirs, and then we're gonna split the proceeds. That's not how it works. The court has to appoint a personal representative. And until the court does that, there is nobody who can act as the person in place of the person who's passed away. There is no legal person until the estate goes through the probate process and the court says, okay, now there's a legal person, there is an estate, and here is the person that everyone can recognize. There's an estate and there's a personal representative, and that personal representative is going to be the legs and feet, the hands and feet of the estate. That's the personal representative. So that person has the right to go out and do everything the estate can do, selling the property, listing the property, signing documents at closing. The settlement company there are several things the settlement company is going to need, and I always keep a list, and I'm happy to share it with you. I'm going to have links below, a list of everything you're going to need in order to actually sell that estate property. So you're going to have to get a tax ID number for that legal person, the estate, tax ID number. You're going to need to set up a bank account for the estate, because settlement companies will only send funds. Once you sell, you've got $500,000 cash coming to you. The settlement company is not going to send that money off to the kids because the settlement company knows, oh yeah, the guy, he left all his money to his kids, we'll just send the money there. No, the settlement company is going to send the funds to an account that has the estate's name on it. So you've got to get the personal representative has to get a tax ID number for the estate. The personal representative has to get a bank account set up in the name of the estate. And the bank will deal with that human because you have letters of administration, which is just a fancy word for, here's my court document stamped by the court that says I, the human, have the right to act for the estate. So you can take that down to the bank. You can take it to the bank and they will let you open an account for the estate. The title company will let you sign documents for the estate. You want to make sure that you keep all those documents, because you're going to need that. You're going to need your letters of administration, the tax ID number, the bank account. You're going to need a certified copy of the death certificate. You'll probably be showing those things a lot through the process. But the key thing is, until you have a personal representative, there's just nothing that can be done with that property legally until that happens. So if you have someone who passes away in the middle of a transaction, I mean, unfortunately, it's tragic, but that happens. That everyone has signed the sales contract, everyone's on their way to closing and someone passes away, that does not kill your contract. But it does mean that if it was a seller who passed away, and if we're not talking about joint tenants, we're not talking about rights of survivorship, if that person owned that property all by themselves, let's say, and they pass away, that doesn't kill the contract. If everyone still wants to go forward, if you've got a buyer who still wants to buy and the seller has passed away, then the heirs need to go on ahead and open an estate, get a personal representative appointed, and then go ahead to closing. I mean, it can take some time, but I've certainly seen cases where the buyer is like, hey, I love the house, I still want it, so let's all just make it happen. It takes time, but it's not that unusual, unfortunately. It's not that unusual that people pass away in the middle of a transaction. The main thing that I see people get tripped up on is you have to get that estate opened. You have to have a real person, and that is the personal representative, before anything else can happen. So as I said, I'm going to put some links in below for what you need to do if you're in this situation where you've got to get a personal representative appointed, what you need to do if you're trying to sell an estate, because there's a lot involved. I'm happy to help people navigate this because I help buyers and sellers all the time with complex transactions. So I'll put a link below specifically if you need help with estates and selling a property that's owned by an estate, and exactly what steps you need to go through. Please feel free to give me a call if you need help. I'm Vanessa Hardy with Long & Foster, and I work with stuff like this all the time. I'm happy to be a resource.